Yo, this is Alpha Kingdom, and this is the late night master class, master level session. I'm gonna play a song for you guys. Get it going. Hey. What up, what up, what up? Public Trap, Mars Dope, what's going on? Let's get into this. We're just gonna start right now. So let me pull this up. This is a part two, part three. Um, why is it saying that? Oh, okay, never mind. All right, here we go. All right, so we master level class. Let's go.
Okay, they don't. First of all, they don't think it's possible, right? Like I said, they don't think that if they came up to you and were assertive, that you'd know what to do. You'd probably screw it up some way by trying to oversell her when she's already interested. Right? We've all done that. No, wait, you're messing up my whole sales process. Stop it. No, I just want to leave with you right now. I want to get together with you. No, you're going too fast. I have a process, I have steps I need to go through. That's how we are. And so they don't think it's possible, and they just don't meet any guys who are like that. They don't meet any cool guys. They meet the same guy over and over and over again. Your competition. That's who they meet. And so, okay, so when they do meet a guy, let's say they do meet this right guy. So you guys are now self-developed. You understand this whole concept, and you've gotten into it. You're doing it. Is it possible that women will just switch over immediately? Yeah, it is. Because even though they're programmed just, the opposite of the way we are, the passive way. So women are, of course, unfortunately programmed to be passive. So we become too pushy, they're too passive. So they kind of wait around, right? They've been taught to wait around, and the right guy will approach you or he won't. Right? Now, some girls are assertive, and I applaud them if they are, but very few. And so they don't even realize that there's another guy out there because they've just, and then they complain about, women will say, well, and then I said, well, what guys are approaching you? Oh, well, it's always the same kind of guys. Like always, I must be a magnet for jerks, or something like that, right? Because they're waiting around. They're passive. But when they meet someone who's cool and who understands this concept, they know you're carefree and you're fun and you're not hovering and trying to make them do stuff and talk them into doing stuff, but you're being cool and you're asking them.
That's key. What's going on, Mar? That's key. Your attitude is a major key. That's something that even if you don't have game, you could control. You know what I'm saying? Always having a positive attitude and a positive outlook on life. Carefree. It's attractive. And it's just a good way to live, to be honest with you. Because you cannot stress yourself out over things you cannot change. I learned that a long time ago, and it's never failed because it's true.
The right questions, and you're hanging out. They have a state change. They do. They have a state change.
Hey, Adelina.
And it compels them to be inspired to sometimes take the reins and be assertive towards what they want. The kind of guys they want to hang out with. Okay, so what should you do instead? Or how should you do it when you're not chasing women? Okay, so a couple very important things here you're going to want to listen to and take some notes. So there's some things you're going to stop doing and some things you're going to start doing if you want this to really work for you. So you're still going to approach women, okay? So that's what you're still going to do. But you're not going to be hovering over them and hitting on them and trying to extract information from them in the way that you're used to doing it. So, number one is...
I disagree with that right there. You should extract information. Why would you not? But what's going on, Jonathan? Let's see why he explained. But from right now, I disagree. You do want to extract information. That's one thing you need to do. But he may say it's good reason. Let's see.
So you're going to stop asking them for their contact information and you're going to give them yours. You're going to offer yours up. Which is
you drop the card.
Probably the biggest difference between how I do things and most everybody else. And again, I told you that I used to be the master number collector and
me too.
Contactor. And I was like a cold caller. I would get on that phone and just start calling and calling and calling until I could get to happen. I thought, oh, this is exhausting, and I'm lazy and I'm bored and I don't want to do it anymore.
It is exhausting.
So I remember when I just started doing it, I was like, it's been great talking to you. Just give me a call and we'll talk about getting together or something. And I gave it out a few times and it didn't work. And then all of a sudden this girl calls me and she's like, hey, you want to get together? I'm like, whoa, it worked, really? Even if the odds were the same, even if I had to give out as many numbers as I got numbers, I'd still rather do it the lazy way. That's how I was thinking. Even if the odds were the same. But what I found out over time and over experimenting is the odds are not the same. The odds were well in my favor when I started learning how to offer it up in the right way, where I wasn't drawing attention to it. I wasn't forcing my number on girls, which would be just like forcing a girl or continuing to ask her for hers. It's creepy pursuing, as far as I'm concerned. And I've been through it. I did it. So it has a much higher rate of return. And if you're all about return, which everyone tells me they are, oh, I'm all about return, man. I got to get the most return on my investment, Brent. You know, I want to have girls calling me and texting me and hunting me down. Well, this is the way to do it. So your favorite new line, or if we're giving that way of giving out your number, is really just under the radar. It's just shoot me a text about it. Shoot me a text about that thing. So, which is what I say all the time. I'm always like, shoot me a text about it. Or find me on Facebook. I'm very nonchalant about it. So I don't force it. You know, if I say something like shoot me a text and a girl doesn't get out her phone, you don't want to force it. You don't want to say, hey, don't you want my number? Okay. You can ask questions that lead to it. Okay. So this is the way to do it.
Like you said earlier, what's going on, Christian? Like you said, but earlier, you put yourself in a position for a woman to like you. So in this position, he's giving women the chance to call him. A lot of times, you know, you don't give women the chance to pursue you. You know, you're like on 10 from the gate. And as you will hear, that's not the way to go.
So I'm always asking questions of people like, so what's going on over here? What's on the agenda? What are you guys up to? What crazy shit you have going on? You know, I'm always asking questions about escape and about fun things. And then whether someone asks me that about myself, I just offer up the information. Okay, so I said, well, oh, that's cool. Actually, what I think I'm going to do, right? If I don't have a social life, I may just be saying, like if you guys don't have a social life, saying, oh, you know, I think I'm just going to head out, you know, maybe go home, drink a little bit of wine or something. You're welcome to join if you'd like. Just shoot me a text. Just shoot me a text, right? It's the same thing. If I'm moving on to the next place, it's like, hey, we're going to this other bar, we're going to this other club, this party, it sounds like it might be cool. Oh, that sounds great. Oh, well, you know, shoot me a text if you want to know about it, if you want to know if it's worth coming over. I'm doing this thing on Sunday. It's really exciting. It's really cool. Oh, that sounds good. Well, you're welcome to join. Just shoot me a text about it. You see how it's the same theme? Okay. Maybe tough to get your head around first, but I'm telling you, it's much better that
It's much better because when facts, women will hit you. Women will hit you up when you bored, right? But it's usually women that you deal with already. You feel what I'm saying? Like everything happens. Everything happens, but usually a woman isn't bored, and a woman usually isn't bored and hits up a dude who she don't know or is not interested in. Usually you're just already like in the rotation, and then that's why she hits you up. It's usually a chicks who you deal with. It maybe have talked to on the phone or went on a date and never really went anywhere, and then they randomly hit you up. That's usually what it is. Usually women don't hit you cold because they bored. They hit the dudes who they like. But let me continue.
than me taking that phone number and just trying, oh my God, I did that for so many years, trying to make it happen. So much better. So giving out the phone number is one of the things that you should try. And look, I'm just asking you to consider it in what you already do. Try it, see if it works for you. It worked for me. Don't force it. Don't get the girl's phone out or grab her phone and put your phone number in. That's as bad as making her, you're begging her for hers. We talked about you want to talk about escape and fun things. And if you end up, okay, so two more things about that. You want to always end the conversation first. That's another big one, guys. Okay? So most of the time what we do is we wait around to
Oh man, hold on.
I used to do it.
That's the main one. You always want to end the conversation first. I mean, when you get to the point where you can control conversation and you can talk with direction, then you can end a conversation wherever you want. But if you're trying to learn, because you get too wrapped up in trying to lay out your resume, and then end up talking yourself out of everything she thought you was gonna do.
Talking and talking and talking until she either rolled her eyes, turned away from me. Oh, I got to go to the bathroom, talk to my friend. You know, it just blew me off completely. I didn't understand the power of not fearing loss, right? Or being carefree and not being attached to this one girl. Okay. So end the conversation first. It's powerful. And, you know, a lot of stuff I'm telling you guys is applicable to other parts of your life too. So it's applicable in business, other relationships. So as soon as, you know, you realize, the other person realizes that you're going to dismiss yourself, it's powerful. So dismiss yourself and move on. Talk to someone else. Open up more opportunities for yourself. And if in fact you get in a communication string with any of these women that you end up talking to, over communicating in between getting together is a no-no. Remember, right? One of the greatest things I have to tell you is when a woman is interested in you and they take action on it. I mean, that's like, for guys, you know, you'll say that's the holy grail, even though you may not get there or be open to the way I'm telling you how to get there. Really, I'd rather have someone in whatever kind of relationship it is, whether it's casual or other, who wants to be there, who's interested in hanging out with me. Not someone who I feel like I forced or tricked or manipulated into wanting to hang out with me or get together with me or hook up with me or whatever. Right? I know that's what we're taught. We've all done that. But the next.
That's a good point. You got to think about it when you about to go on a date and you're about to invest. Don't you want to have it like you want to see her and you get the vibe to where she really wants to see you. You know what I'm saying? Like when they say they can't wait and they really into it, like that's a much better vibe. You know what I'm saying? Than having it kind of cold and then trying to raise it during the date. That's what happens a lot of time, and that's how come you waste your time. It's like you be in denial. You know deep down inside when you talk to a woman for the first time if it's a vibe or not. You know deep down if it is or not.
Next level is actually being excited about having someone who's interested in being there. And this is what this allows women to do. It allows them to be interested in being there. So, in other words, if you text someone and the girl doesn't text you back, don't text her 3 more times saying, "Did you get my message? Just want to make sure you got my message." None of that, guys. I've been guilty of that as well. Okay, and the other thing you need to do.
Yeah, don't double text, triple text, quadruple text.
There's obviously a lot of inner game that goes along with this. You have to change your mind about a lot of things. So you have to create your own personal mantra that this is the only type of woman I meet who's attracted to me. So every time I go out, I run into women who are exactly my type. And so what they do is this. They only think, right? I offer my number, they take it.
I would say to fellas too, it's okay to have a preference, but I would say open your mind up to like different types of women. It might be the perfect kind of woman for you that you scared to date. Like be open to new types, new situations, and just see. You don't always have to date for it. This is what happens. Either you date for 2 reasons. You date for sex, or you date for potential mate, right? So just date to have fun and to learn what to do and what not to do, what works and don't work. Don't just date like if you what's up, Shannon, baby? This the late night session. If you up, I mean, threw me off. Don't just date for that. Or okay, if I like her, I want her to be my girlfriend. If I don't like her, I'll just have sex with her. Like, just date to have fun and to learn stuff. You know, don't date like it's a pass or fail thing. Just find women you like, attract them, hang out with them. Some of them you gonna like, some of them you're not gonna like, and just go into it with that mindset. And I promise you, you'll be more successful with women. You want to beam up? Escadero. If you want to beam up, let me know. We're just going over this video from earlier, Mr. Man in Action. Yeah, because this is a continuation from this morning. I was breaking down this video and I overslept, so I didn't even have an hour of time. So I wanted to make it up because I wanted to get through it. Yeah, Mr. Maction, if you want to come up, let me know. I'll drop the link for you.
They ask me out, we go out, and that's how we roll. So you have to actually convince yourself. That has to be your new mantra, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that this is your new life. And for those of you who have not done any inner work, I know that sounds probably a little weird to you, but I'll tell you, you're already doing it. You're just doing the opposite. So you already have a mantra, personal mantra. Every time you look into the mirror, every time you think about yourself or your life, you're already telling yourself stuff. Just change the information you're telling yourself. Most of the stuff you're telling yourself is negative, how you're not good enough and how it won't happen for you and why it's not possible about everything in your life. You just change that whole conversation.
I tell you guys that too. You guys focus on what you're not good at too much. Focus on what you are good at. You guys only focus on why you're not good at this, why you're not good at that. You know, there are things that you are good at, and you need to focus on those things. Hold on. All right, there's probably plenty of things you're excellent at, but you only want to focus on the bad stuff.
Conversation, and right now we're talking about the context of women. If we change that conversation, it'll be super powerful. Okay, couple last things I want to leave you with here. How are we doing on time? Okay. Okay, so if you want to start this life with girls that you're already maybe in conversation with, or you're already sort of like chasing the old way, if you want women to chase you, you have to stop chasing them. Period. That's it. To make room for it, you can't be attached. You can't try to hold on to old relationships and stuff. If you want this new way, you have to be willing to clear the deck of everything you're doing. Now, that won't necessarily happen. I'm just telling you, you have to be willing to do that. So here's what I suggest. If you're in a current conversation somehow with a woman in whatever way you're doing, and you're doing the traditional role where you're chasing her, you're checking in with her, trying to make her interested, let's go out on a date. She's saying, no, I can't till next week. Okay, I'll check back with you. I want you to go dark. I want you to radio silence. No more communicating at all.
Go on ice. That's what he mean. He just say go dark. It's the same thing. Go dark. I like that though. Just go dark. Go dark on them. I'm gonna start saying that. What happened with just go dark?
Stop yourself, okay? Just stop.
Go dark.
That's number one thing. Do not contact them again, okay?
Go dark.
She contacts you. Once she contacts you, that's the beginning of a whole new thing, possibly. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that this will work. These next two things
I'm going to tell you,
because you've already set yourself up.
He always gets on the late night shows.
People don't like you to change the way things are done after the fact. They want to know who you are to begin with, not later. But this works sometimes, okay? So you want to go dark, and then when they contact you,
go dark.
Then you want
Remember
to say,
that.
okay, great. But here's the other thing, is that everything is about getting together. There's no more conversation back and forth. That's idle conversation about shit that doesn't mean anything. Okay? No more. That's out the window.
Nice profile pic.
And having said that, that leads me to the last thing here, and that's
Takeem think he's slick. Look at him. He changed his avatar pic because now he on here. He didn't got popular on YouTube in the chat rooms. So now he didn't change his to the wife beater picture because he trying to get at some of these YouTube skeezers. You ain't slick. I'm on to you. I already know how it goes. You probably want to get Jessica X. You want her to choose up. I know it. I know. It's all good.
It's related. If you currently have a date, a traditional date with a girl that you have done everything the traditional way with, and you're going to meet out, I don't know, 3 or 4 days from now or whenever, and you're going to go out and have drinks or dinner or whatever, I want you to send them the following text, or however you communicate.
See,
Change of
look,
plan.
see, I know it. I told you.
Drinks, 8 p.m., my place or their place, whatever.
Shannon already looking at
Just
your
put
muscles
address in
now.
there, or
See,
ask for their address, and that's it.
and whoever else
You're gonna
sleeper
change the
watching.
whole way things are done now. Okay, and so could women respond to that badly? Of course they could. But like I said, you have to be willing to do that. So everything has to be about getting together. And if you want to stop all this,
Can you hear the video, man, in action?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
cracks anytime when you're communicating, just send a message that says, "So, I suppose you want to get together." And that's it. You know, yes or no. Don't continue talking into it.
I don't like that. I don't like what he said. So, you want to get together? I don't like that. That seems. See, sometimes you can be cocky, but sometimes you can be like a jerk, kind of like a woman that's interested. Sometimes you're too much like that, it'll rub her off. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to know who to do that with. You can't always get that super. I know I got you vibe all the time. You know?
Oh yeah. That can instantly kill it in certain senses because, and a lot of dudes do that. They'll swear up and down they're in there, but they're never in there. And women will actually play these games with dudes to have you thinking that you already got it in the bag just because she's responding quick, or even if she's seeming like it's all good in person. But like I said, you're never in there until you're actually in there.
Guys, how many times you think you didn't learn where you? Hey, what's going on? By the way, you didn't say what's up to me. My bad.
Oh yeah, what's good? We just hopped up in here.
Like to where you think you got it in the bag and then you sleep on it and then it end up turning around. How many? Well, let me ask you this: how many times did it take for you to learn that lesson and be like, hell no, you got to get it on the spot?
I'm not gonna lie, I still learn. It's plenty of times where it's happened to me in the past, but even people who hit me up, I see it happening to them, and me myself, it's still situations where just naturally I'll be feeling myself and get a little cocky with a chick, and then next thing you know, it goes nowhere, or she isn't receptive as I thought she would have been off how she was in the beginning. So it's a learning experience all the time.
I done had a few, bro, and that's when I start figuring out that women had a rotation.
Yeah.
That's when I learned that. Like, oh, okay. Because I was stupid, young and dumb. I used to do that. Well, not like that, but the one-on-one dating shit. Like, I'm dating you now.
Yeah.
And that don't work. I will find another selection. Nah, man, that shit ain't it.
Thanks.
Not it. All right, hold on.
42,000 step system for doing it. Just move on to the next thing.
What's up, TOP?
Okay, guys,
What's
that's
up,
all I've got
Tisha?
for that.
What's up, Pete Rock?
Enjoyed it. Questions?
Awesome. Great stuff. Who has got questions for Brent Smith?
Here, let's play a game. Mr. Man in Action, you want to play a game?
Yeah, what's up?
I bet you that whatever questions they ask him, I bet you we can give him better bars than whatever he say.
All right, for sure.
All right, let's see. What the questions they got for us.
All right, here we have, what if a woman forgets who you are between the approach and the date?
Okay, you go. What's up? What
if women forgets who you are between the approach and the date? So I guess they mean from when you approach a woman and then you finally hit her up, she may forget you.
Uh-huh.
Well, I say that's easy. I mean, your approach meant nothing to her. It had no substance to it. It had no swag to it, for lack of a better word. It had nothing that made her go home and actually want you to hit her up. It had nothing that was different from any other guy who has enough courage to approach her. So if that does happen, just know that it's not even too much of the woman, because you got to be aware when you meet a stranger, they had a whole life before they met your ass. So you thinking that it's all her and she's out here for the streets and all that stuff. Sometimes it's you, bro. Like sometimes your approach just didn't have no sauce to it, as you would say. It wasn't saucy enough. So
Right.
it happens, but you need to work on that, because every approach, hey, what's your name? What are you doing? Where you from? How old are you? Can I get your number? Depending on how you say that, it can definitely work. But if you don't have any substance to it, then yes, she will forget. Real talk, especially if she's attractive.
All right, cool. So, Mr. Man in Action, that's answer number one. Now I'm number two, and then Brent is number three. So my advice is, when you exchange numbers, you're supposed to give a direction of when they're supposed to call. So you don't got to worry about a woman forgetting you and shit, because you supposed to call. She's supposed to call you at 10 o'clock, like you told her, or whatever time, at 3 o'clock, whatever. You don't just. I don't just leave it in the air. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got to be, in the morning, at lunchtime, 3 o'clock. What time? 7 o'clock. Cool. Especially on that first time. Now I'm number two. Let's see what he got to say.
Well, let me say something real quick though.
No.
In a sense, like, let's just say it's a quick approach. Sometimes you don't have that full time to really chop it up. Would you still try to set that up regardless? Because sometimes you don't really have that rapport with that woman to make that happen off the approach.
For me, it's easy. I just build up a conversation and I drop a card.
Yeah, for sure.
And the card got incentive for her to call me because we're on there.
Word.
Really? Then you haven't done a very good job of making yourself, make an imprint on her. If she forgets it, well, give me, how would I know she forgot? Because you're going to text her and say, hey, it's so-and-so from the other night, and she'll go, who's this? Is that what you're saying? Or what are you saying? Exactly.
Because you're not texting her, you're waiting for her to text you, right?
Yeah.
She meets you, and then you have a conversation, and then she another guy.
He like, fuck that.
And that's what I'm counting on. I'm counting on you not being able to wait and go after her, because then you're the pursuer and you're not my competition anymore. You see, you have to be willing to just let it all go and give it all up. And you have to work on being this great guy when you're in her presence, who's carefree and funny and attractive and, like I said, who gets it. And then you won't have to worry about that. So you have to be willing to walk away.
We all won. I'm gonna take all three,
Mm-hmm.
Alex, because that was some excellent. My advice, your advice, and then his advice. That worked perfect because his advice was like the summary of
Exactly.
mine.
It was like what we both would say and didn't even think we needed to.
Mm-hmm. Yep, because that's the real shit. That's you gotta be able to walk away. That's the realest shit.
Mm-hmm.
Realest shit.
And even in his scenario, it's times where I may give a woman my number, and in the back of my head, it's not one of these things where I hope she texts me ASAP or I'm waiting on her to text me. It's kind of one of those things where she better text me, because if she don't, I'm gonna forget. I'm meeting so many different women in so many different circumstances that if she hits me up, hey, this is, let's just say Ashley. Well, who the fuck is Ashley? I've met like 3 to 5 more chicks within this same week, same day, or whatever. So sometimes women have to understand when they're dealing with a particular man who can easily meet women in any situation, they better hurry up.
Hey, I got a question for you. So when you go out and you be cold approaching, do you be having like a goal, or you just kind of just see when you see something you like, you add it, or do you be like, man, I need to try to knock like 5? Like, how you do it?
I would say that I used to, when I used to go out with my friends and stuff like that, we would have like a certain amount, but now kind of just out and about, just doing it as a vibe type thing. And if anything comes from it, cool, but if not, cool. But no certain type of goal. I do like to challenge myself though. So like if I see women in groups, or the most attractive women that I see that I know a lot of people would be fearful to approach. So I do like to do challenging approaches. Like let's just say a woman's checking out at the store or some shit like that. I do like to challenge myself. I don't have a outcome of how many numbers I'm supposed to get per day. Not necessarily.
I could do it. I didn't did both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Had challenges, and I didn't just freestyle it. Have you ever went for everything to where you went out and didn't get nothing?
Hell yeah, hell yeah. And honestly, those are the. It's gonna sound crazy, especially for someone who I would say doesn't do this much. Those are the best nights because you learn the most those nights. Sometimes when you go everything and no O, you learn nothing. You just feel like your game is on point. But those O for everything nights are the most humbling ones. Those are the ones to say, okay, I'm still a human. You know, I'm not this great magical guy that can get any woman anytime, because I know you know those feelings where you feel like you can't miss. You're just like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? Like every chick I talk to, it's going great, it's going good. So when I have those nights of going O for everything, of course, that's not the goal. But when it does happen, it's perfectly fine because nobody's perfect. Of course, we know that. And also, it just lets me know that there's more things I can improve on. And it's no big deal. It's never no big deal. So yeah, man, I've definitely had those nights. What about you? You ever had them kind of dud nights?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't never really go over everything, bro. And let me tell you why. Because, well, it's a few reasons. The first reason is because I pre-qualify my approaches. I don't just go in cold. Like, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
If I don't get a choosing signal, I still know how to get a choosing signal about her if there is one. You feel me?
Yeah.
Hey, finesse part. And even when I start talking to women, I still kind of can gauge stuff. I'm never kind of like I've talked to so many women to where I can pretty much tell where it's gonna go. Like I can pretty much tell if it's good. Like it's very rare where I have a good ass conversation and it ain't a good at the end. It's
Fact.
like
Yeah.
having a good vibe. Oh, I'm so sorry. I gotta like that. Don't really happen because then I don't ask the boyfriend part either.
Yeah.
Things I don't ask, the boyfriend part and the age part. I mean, if I got to question her age, she's too young. That's how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
She's over 21 and she may be younger, but she for sure legal if I'm talking to her. So
Yeah.
so that's the first reason. You know, I don't just go in cold like that. And then the second one is because like if I'm hitting O like that, I be feeling like I need to get one. You feel me?
Mm.
Now,
Yeah.
the only case where that I might go O for everything is if I'm just out campaigning and I don't see but two that day. You feel me?
It's
So I
funny
might
enough.
go like O for two. You know what I'm saying? But if I see more than 4 or 5, I didn't got one. You know what I'm saying? Once
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
3 and 4, I didn't got one of them. I ain't gonna go 0 for 4 or for like you know what I mean, like 2. Sometimes you don't just see them out there like that, you know. So I
Mm-hmm.
might just go somewhere, don't really see one, kind of see one, boom, that ain't go nowhere. See another one, boom, that ain't go nowhere. But that wasn't like heartbreaking because we just kind of on some random shit both times. Like you just throwing shit out there. Like I ain't really tripping. Let's see if
Yeah.
I take it. Okay. Oh, boom, I got one. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she even better than I thought. Cool. That's even better. You know what I'm saying? And then another one over there.
Yeah, and that's typically how it is, depending on your setting. You know, so when I say like it could be O for everything, not necessarily if I'm in the abundant of women area. You know, that's kind of hard to strike out with many women, but definitely like you said, if it's like two, and even the two that you do talk to, it's kind of like you know, and then that's a O for two if we want to be technical with these terms or whatever. But one thing that actually, when I said earlier, I actually feel good when that happens is because for me, and I don't know if everyone's like this, and it's definitely not that deep, but this is just the way I am is I rather get those O for whatever than O for O. You feel me? Like if I see somebody that I want to talk to, I'd rather just go ahead and go up pretty much as long as I'm not in a hurry or it's not nothing crazy going on, instead of that what if mindset. I'm not good on that shoulda, coulda, woulda type mindset. Even if it's just a chick, it's like whatever, because I know there's plenty of them everywhere and I can talk to another one whenever. But I'd rather go out on a situation where it's like, okay, I at least said something or I at least went for it instead of O for O, which is what plenty of guys go through their whole life. You know, I'd rather have that O for another number instead of just a goose egg on both ends.
I went 0 for 9 in New York though. That was cold.
For real.
Yeah, bro, because they was moving too fast for me, bro. I'm like Snoop Dogg. I got, I be killing this shit. You gotta grab their asses.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like soft spoken and shit too. They would just pass me my ass by, nigga. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta adjust. You gotta swap it up for sure.
She keep on pass. They was passing my ass by, nigga. I'm trying to grab hands. They slipping away. I'm like, damn, man, I'm motherfuckers out here. Yeah. Yeah, it was. I had to go home and think about it. Like I had to do a huddle to myself, like John Madden and shit.
Yeah.
How should I approach a woman online? Live a good life, bro, and they DM you in your stories. That's why. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Right. So I know there's that inclination.
It ain't always
I had that
complicated.
temptation, too. When I was first coming up with this idea, I thought, will I really be able to do it? Number one, I was really attached to all the girls that I was hanging out with at that moment because I'd done a lot of work to get them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'd gone out every night, got phone numbers, crafted great messages, talked to these girls, manipulated them a little bit, whatever.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie too. I've had a rotate because that's you're not supposed to really be like that. But I've had rotation and been attached to multiple ones, bro. Like I knew I was. I knew I was breaking the rules, bro, but it just happened.
No, I mean, sometimes you just have the moments of just being.
Oh man,
Yeah.
y'all shoot me in the foot. Afi Kingdom has been. I have been victim to catching feelings from multiple girls in the rotation, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. You're not supposed to do that. I've been fell victim to it. Multiple girls in the rotation, man.
Yeah,
It happens to us all.
for sure.
We get together. And I'm like, man, if I switch it up on them, they're going to all bail on me, right? But then I had to think, okay, well, if I'm willing to go this new direction, I have to be willing to let it all go. And it was very tough for me, I have to say, but it was one of the most important things.
What's the most important?
This guy right here, bro, I don't know what it is or what I looked at, but his commercial comes up so many times, bro. That particular guy.
Being a better guy.
I'm gonna send you a link for this ad blocker if you're on your laptop.
Sense?
Okay, yeah, send it to
I
me.
know it's tough. But you have to kind of
Ad blocker.
get to that point where you just don't care anymore.
What happens if you really connect with someone and they lose your number or they lose their phone? Something happens and they
Hold
lose
on.
it. You just lost a connection because.
Well, listen, if you
Hey, bro,
come to me,
these niggas be desperate as hell, bro. Look at that, bro. The dude just made a whole excuse for the bitch, bro. If that wasn't a whole excuse, I don't know what this cat said. What happens if that's him saying that. I love to hear her version of the story. What happens if you have a connection? If she loses the number and she wants to call you so bad, but she can't get the phone number.
Guys got to step out and realize there's plenty of women out here.
He's desperate, bro. Watch, look at he's serious. He want he in the audience looking intense, waiting for this answer because he about to go home and do it. So whatever he say, he about to go home and do that shit. But oh shit.
say, Brent, I know there was a connection. Tell me about the whole interaction, and I know that what you're saying is true. And yeah, I'm going to say, yeah, that's a different story, maybe. So yeah, if you don't hear from her, maybe something happened. Yeah, you could check in with her. Yeah. So it's not in stone. If I'm just saying in most scenarios, in most cases, from what I hear from guys, it's not that. Unless a guy says
He gonna check in with her anyway. He just needed confirmation to do it.
that was something else.
Yeah.
He was gonna hit her up tonight, no matter what he said. But now he just feel good about doing it. Like shit, Brent said it was cool, so I'm gonna do that. As soon as I get in the car, I'm like, let me see what's her number. Do. He ready. He was gonna do it. He was gonna do it anyway. He was gonna probably do it on the late night before he went to bed and act like it was a pocket call. But since Brent told him he can do it, he about to do it as soon as he get in the car.
Yeah. It'd be certain questions like that where they already have their answer. They just want to hear what you say.
That's what you learn when you be coaching. See, that's how come we both coaches, because we speak in the language to each other that y'all don't know about.
Yeah.
If you really are that kind of guy who really connects with people on a deep level, so I could say that, and I could also say this. I could say that you can have what you're willing to give up. So if you're willing to not worry about that one who you had a connection with, that maybe she lost her phone, when you are kind of unavailable to worrying about those situations, then you will truly be on the next level. You can say that too. So my point is that if you could be willing to let that go and not worry about whether she actually lost your number or her phone or got in a car crash or whatever, I don't wish that to happen. I'm just saying that when you have to just move forward, you have to always be moving forward and don't worry about those little things, as tough as it might be.
Brent, thank you.
And that's a game breaker because y'all don't be tough enough to do it. Y'all don't be tough enough to do it, and that's the best position you have. I mean, because you can't really. The only reason why you have problems, if you just really narrow it down, the only reason why anybody has any problems in any relationship is because they're not willing to walk away.
Yeah.
That's it, bro. Because if you walk away, then you don't deal with it no more. If your girl cheating on you, walk away. Then guess what? You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about a cheating, lying, liar, cheat. You ain't got to worry about it because you walked away. If you a girl and your man kicking your ass every night, well, guess what? Then you just walk away and then you can't kick your ass no more because you're somewhere else. If you got a job and they treat you like shit, walk away. Get another job. Like it boils down to everything. That's powerful information.
Thank you for the talk. This really resonates with me. I have two questions. The first one's really easy. The next one's complicated. What media do you give your number out? So if you're gonna leave the conversation and say, hey, yeah, here's my number, whatever, are you telling her? Are you giving her your card? What capacity? How are you doing?
Yeah, number.
So then,
cards are, to speak to what he is, cards are easy to lose. They're easy to misplace.
Not if she's attracted to you.
Oh, I'm just saying that.
He wrote that answer, don't he?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think beyond like even this context, what the guy or whoever said that, because I heard it, but I was sending you the email for the ad blocker. But what he said, what whoever said was a gem. Things hit different when a woman's attracted to you. Like everything that a lot of people would say you can't do or you don't do or you shouldn't do. When a woman's attracted, it's like none of that stuff makes sense to you because she's going to be willing and okay for you to do essentially whatever. So attraction is definitely a key. Like some guys will say, grab the number. Some will say, give her your number. Some will say, give her a card. But I think you have to emphasize whichever one can work or not work, but it'll definitely work a lot better if she's attracted to you. So focus on that before you start focusing too much on, should I say this? Should I do that? Is she attracted to you or not? Because it starts with that. Even if you think about online dating, it has to be some level of attraction to get that match. So the same in person or with card exchange, with conversation in general. And keep in mind, attraction is not just a physical thing. there's so many levels to attraction that when I say it, I know a lot of people think it's just physical.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Especially for women.
that don't mean you gotta have a jawline. You can be
Yeah,
without that shit.
man, especially for women, their levels of how they can be attracted to you is on so many different levels. But you need to, in a sense, understand that she's attracted to you before you worry about, well, how do I kick her out the next morning and all of this stuff, bruh. Does she like you first? We got to start somewhere, and then we can work towards all of these other things that you may be curious of.
Let's see what else we got.
Yeah, it's an exchange of numbers. Now, if that's all you got, your phone's dead or it's not working, do whatever. But I'm just saying that in most cases, what I do is I will just offer my number.
The next thing was, you said not to over communicate. In your first encounter, if you want to exchange numbers and say, hey, I'm doing this thing, or Sunday, or whatever it is, I'm going to this bar, how do you know between over communicating and mystery and saying, hey, I'm involved in this, or I'm doing this? What's the balance there?
Okay, well, when I'm talking to her, I'm watching her body language and seeing how she's reacting to everything I'm saying. I'm also looking for a little indicator of interest, of course. That's always best, right? If I talk about it and she says, oh, that sounds cool, that sounds fun, I love wine, or I love this, I go, oh, well, it's like
Look out when you talk to women. You don't always look at her to say you're cute. If you call her sexy, she may not call you sexy back. If you say you're attractive, she may not always say you're attractive as well. But she will give you other indicators by being interested in the shit that you're talking about.
Facts. I mean, one thing that's a clear indicator is if she's still there. You know, is she still willing to engage in a conversation with you? But women, they'll tell you a lot without saying a word. So you gotta understand not just how's your body language looking, how is hers looking, how is she responding to you, how is she looking at you, what's her voice tone.
as an afterthought, as opposed to what I used to do, it's, oh, well, you're welcome to join me if you'd like. Shoot me a text and work it out. So I'm still not overly excited, but I'm invited. That's the other thing.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I damn near couldn't motivate myself to call a woman first.
So that's a dove, huh?
I don't know what would motivate me. It would the only way that would happen is if she instructed that, kind of. Not like she telling me what to do, but if she's like, you know, I got an appointment at 4, but I'll be home around 8. Like it'd have to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Not
now, are you saying a new woman or a woman you're already dealing with?
No, I'm talking about a new one.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
A new one. A new one. Yeah, it would have to be like how I just said, like not just I meet her, then we exchange numbers, and then 3 days later I call her like, "Hey, may I speak to Tamika?" I don't know how to do that because it don't work like that. It seemed weird because it seemed weird me calling and me hoping she know who I. That just seemed weird. I like knowing.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Now with these new ones, then because you know it's usually without no
down sudden death is different.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say it's not no attachment there, but with these new ones, how do you prefer to get to know them better? Is it over text, over phone, or in person?
It depends on the vibe.
Yeah, depending on the original vibe.
Some women are better in person. Some women are better some women are cool over the phone, but not good in person.
Yeah.
That's another one too.
Mm-hmm.
Like some chicks, I know some chicks, and they're hot, and then you can be like, you know, you can call her, and you can get her to come over and do whatever, whether it's cook, have sex, whatever, do whatever you want. But it's like it ain't worth the kicker.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna eat and we gonna smash, and then it ain't worth it. Because then she gonna want to be around after that. That's not always fun. After you know, some
Hmm.
women ain't made for the after sex session kick it. And I'm gonna keep it real. Like I don't always want to kick a woman out. Like sometimes it comes to that, but I don't take pride in it. Like I'd rather just not have a situation at all.
Yeah, everything's about decisions. You got to know what's going to come with it. I mean, and typically, depending on what time she comes and how the vibe was set up, you got to know that things may come with that aren't to your favor, to your best interest.
It's like flaking. Like I won't if I confirm some type of date, I ain't leaving in the house till she there.
Yeah, just to make sure.
Yep, I'll be late before I'm early.
Facts.
I ain't just gonna be sitting around Texas row house with a fucking glass of lemon water looking like a jerk.
Mhm.
All at the Olive Garden and shit, eating the bread, looking at my phone like a jackass. Fuck that,
Yeah,
man.
going outside.
Not me, buddy. I didn't did everything before. And I know how to avoid shit like that.
I'm never pushy, but I'm very nice and I'm very inviting. And I'm like, oh yeah, you want to join me? Sure, absolutely, yeah. Shoot me a text and we'll try and work it out. I don't commit to it 100% because I don't.
Hey, matter of fact, it made me think of something. You know what's the worst flake I ever had, bro?
What's that?
Worst flake I ever had, bro. Man, I was so hot, bro. Nigga, I was hot. Oof, I was hot. So it was this chick. The thing is, I had smashed her before, and so I had smashed her before, and she didn't stay in town. She stayed somewhere else. So I don't know for whatever reason I wanted to do some shit. So I had got a hotel room, and I didn't tell her. We went to the movies, and and we went to the movies, and then so then when she dropped me off at the car, I was dead, bro, because I knew I had the hotel room.
No.
And I mean, I could have brought it up, but then I already felt that she was pushing me to the left, so that would have seemed like desperation mode.
Hmm.
I was like, nah, let me just. And I went back to that room, hella mad. And that's why you can never always got it. You think you got it in the bag. You don't always got it in the bag like you think.
Man,
Because
I'm telling you,
I
that be
had
the
already smashed, but when we went on that second date, the vibe was kind of off.
yeah,
I was
that
just
be the
going off
worst.
the first vibe. Last time I seen her, she was giving me some fire dome. So I mean, what other kind of, you know, vibe do I need, right?
Yeah,
So I thought we was gonna get a hotel room on some surprise shit and have ultimate showdown. She didn't even come. She was ready to go home after the movie. I was like, fuck. All right, well, I was hot, boy.
yeah. Talk about female nature. You just described it right there. It'd be
Mhm.
like that.
But
It was,
see, if she would have knew that though, she would have that made her feel even cute. It made her feel better. That's why I didn't say, "Oh, well, I got this room." Then she would have felt special. So I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna just hold that one in."
yeah,
Want to make her feel like she has to either, even though I know that that could be considered bad if you're worried about women flaking. But if you do this the right way, you'll have very few women flaking. Does that answer your question?
He looked like he run hot car game. I bet you he got a hot car.
oh yeah, drop top.
Don't he just look like he'll hop in the drop top looking ass? He ain't got
Yeah,
no jury or nothing. He just got hot car game. Or he got
mm,
a fucking Prius. or just hot car. That's how he get the babes. He just talks his little shit with his glasses and then hops in a hot car.
Yeah, he definitely holds the beer up to his chest in the club.
And
Mhm.
like a very blunt text recommending to come over for drinks or
He
to
probably
go
about
over to her house
6'3",
for drinks.
6'4".
My question is, I personally, if I got that text, I would be like a little like, oh my gosh, maybe scared.
Mhm.
So like, if she gets like scared or something like that, like, is there a way that you would suggest like phrasing it?
You know, real quick, you know what'd be fun about giving advice? SC,
Yeah.
what's up? Is because people be asking you questions, and they really be thinking that they only go through that. They questions be like the same questions as everybody else questions.
That's facts.
They really be thinking like they got a special scenario. Well, no, this is my case. Your case is like shit. 3 from today earlier.
Yeah.
Or maybe like only say it to like a specific type of girl?
I totally understand where you're going with that. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that if you're, and I'm, again, this is all about experimenting, and some of this will be for if you have a certain context with a person that you've already set, there will be some pre-context, right? So it's not going to work in every situation. Someone is going to say maybe, oh, I don't feel comfortable with that, right? Like I'm not meeting you here. Yeah, let's meet out again, right? And I understand that. So in that case, I would be saying, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm thinking about just staying in and maybe having a glass of wine or watching a movie or something. Let me know if that interests you, right? Instead of, being super blunt, let me know.
I wouldn't even say let me know if they interest you though. It makes it seem like a deal almost. Like if they want to see you, then they're just going to confirm they want to do it. You don't have to. To me, that's kind of like a jerk. Like let me know if they interest you.
Mm-hmm.
You can just be like, hey, I'm finna go to the so and so downtown around 10. If you around, check me out. If I see you, mimosas on me, boom. And now she want to come. Now she want to get the free alcohol. And the thing is, when you get the mimosas, that should be like cheap,
Yeah. Like bottomless and shit.
right? But then she get to take the pictures, so y'all both winning, because that's all she want to do. She got a fire caption for the mimosas and shit. She going, yes, mimosa Sundays and all that fucking bullshit they be doing. Bad bitch behavior on a Sunday. I'm just drinking mimosas. How am I going to end it? Who knows? Scandalous behavior, shenanigans. That fucking shit. All these hoes be saying all this same shit, bro.
What you see is that when I teach
swearing they brand new.
Deeper way where the whole course about it is that you're building trust when you first meet someone. So there's, of course, no one's going to get together with someone alone if they don't trust them. Right? If you don't feel trustworthy, you're not going to meet up with a stranger.
I disagree with that. Some people like living on the wild side.
Yeah. Some people are definitely on that adventurous shit. I kind of agree and disagree with what he's saying though, because when he says that, I think I know what he means when he says you're building trust when you first meet someone, but I don't think no one thinks of it like that, if that makes any sense. So if you meet a stranger, you're not necessarily saying, okay, let me trust you. It's just one of those things where you feeling out the vibe, and if it's there, because you can know people for years and still not trust them. It's many levels to that, but I do get where he's trying to say. I just don't know if in general that would make sense, especially to a 21 Students audience or 21 Studios audience. King Dre,
shout out for the super chat, bro. What you doing, King Dre? What you up to, brother? We just up here chilling. We pretty much finished. It's like 1 minute left.
Dre-ism.
At their house, or you rather have them into your house. So I understand where you're coming from. So I'm assuming that there's trust built, but there is another way to go about it, and that was helpful. Okay. Cool.
I wonder how much he got paid. How many stacks you think they gave him?
Guys,
I'm gonna be real. I'm not familiar with this dude. Is he like big time?
decomplicate things and lose the story.
Well, I guess he was at the point. This shit got 2.3 million views.
Oh shit.
Everything is simple, fun, and easy.
Yeah, you probably gave him like maybe 3.
Simple, fun, and easy. Meeting
3?
women and tracking it is simple, fun, and easy because I just show up and they feel a sense of trust and support for me. They feel like they can be themselves around me and be assertive, and we have a great time, and they feel my great vibe and stuff like that. So that's how you would do that. Tell yourself that it's simple, fun, and easy rather than, oh, it's complicated and I'm going to overcome it.
Good fucking advice. Tell yourself that it's simple, fun, and easy.
And not only tell yourself, you gotta actually believe that shit. Some people will say, I'm confident. It's like, all right, well, do this. No, not today. If you're not gonna put that shit into actually trying it, actually doing it, then you're just lying to yourself. So even with the simple, fun, and easy, it's easy to say that. You know, I think anyone can type it, they can say it, they can read it, but it's different when you actually believe it. It's a different vibe.
Good. Again, thanks for that super track, King Dre. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to my bro. And I want to, we finished the video, and I just want to, so if you guys came late, y'all catch the playback. I'm going to leave it up to the morning, and then I'm going to put it on to my members and my patrons. I want to answer SC Flair's question. Why do chicks lose interest even after sex? What would you say to that?
I think it's multiple reasons why. So, of course, I think the obvious one would be it could be trash. That's one of the easiest ones. Also, it could be women lose interest if you sneeze. You know, they lose interest if you tie your shoe. If you check your phone with your left hand, they lose interest over all type of shit. So sometimes you can't necessarily worry too much about that, but maybe it's just one of those things where she just wanted a one night stand. So she probably didn't even have interest in the first place. It just happened. Maybe she was feeling it. You knew how to seduce her in the right way for the right moment in the right time. And honestly, a lot of women like that type of sex. They like that it just happened type thing. But sometimes they didn't have interest in the first place, my guy.
So there you go, SC Flair. This was like a perfect 1 hour show. It was a lot of impact, a lot of information, a good flow, and good time. Not too much, not too little.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. So any last words, my brother?
Nah, man, appreciate you for, being able to slide me through here real quick. And y'all make sure y'all check me out. Mr. Man in Action on YouTube. Got some good content over there. That's it, man.
All good, man. Well, as y'all know, hit the books. Follow me on Instagram. I got to get used to saying it. King Genius Afi. At King Genius Afi on Instagram. DM me for any questions, any inquiries, and all of that. And I'll see y'all in the morning. So if you don't know what this show was about, check part 2 from this morning. This is the part 3 continuation from the one earlier. So y'all take care. See y'all in the morning. Peace, Mr. Man in Action. Thanks for your time. King Dre, Republic, SC Flair, everybody, Trav. Peace, Rock. Good night, y'all. See y'all at 7:45.
All right. Peace.
Peace.